So I know this is a bit late. This is a bit late at the moment, but it has been a very stressful day. You guys can tell I haven't been on live all day because again, it's been a very stressful day. Honestly, I'm like exhausted, I'm tired. A few things have happened today and yeah. So last night, I didn't even know about anything. I didn't know anything until today about 4 o'clock. I called Derek. You know, you guys know he's out of town, and I called him to, see how he was doing because he had a few things that he wanted to do today, whatever. I wanted to check on him. So I called him, and as we're talking, my parents were here. So my dad came in the room to get my attention. Apparently one of our neighbors was at the door. So I went and I talked to the guy, very, very nice guy, really great neighbors. And he basically said that, and I actually have the footage on my phone. I have a few footages on my phone from different neighbors that a man came over to the house around 2:30 in the morning and stood at the porch and was basically calling my name. He was there for what seemed like 15 minutes. He would try to open the door. He'd go back and stand there, wait to see if anyone comes to the door. He'd try to open the door. He'd go back and stand there to see if anyone comes to the door. And this was around 2:30 in the morning. When he didn't hear anyone coming to the door, he walked down the stairs, and then he was trying to make an exit, but then he walked back into the property again and came towards our door here, the window, the big large window in our bedroom, towards that door. And as he was walking towards that door, the neighbor who took the footage on his phone happened to be sitting outside. And I know that's neighbor because they have a business, they have a tattoo business, and they usually come home late at night. So they happened to catch the guy and he recorded it. So as he was walking towards the window where the bedroom is, he calls the cops and he gets up. So the guy, the intruder, sees him and startles, and he leaves and walks out of the property into his car. And then he turns on his car and then he zooms out, like he leaves the property. And all of this is on a video. And watching the video, your chest will just drop because it's like he was right there, like literally right there, and to do that so late at night and stuff. And I had no idea. I didn't hear anyone knocking on the door. Thank God I had all the doors locked. Actually, this crazy thing is I woke up, I put the girls to sleep at 9, and I woke up at around 11 to come in the living room and kind of like clean things. And something was like, double check the door if it's locked. And when I checked the door, the bottom part was locked. The top, which is the important part, was not locked. So I locked it, and thank God I did. So no, that's one footage. My other neighbor, who is opposite the house, they caught everything, including the man's face and everything. So what happened was, and this is gonna shock you when you hear this. What happened was, they are in their living room, they're watching TV, they hear somebody on the door trying to get in on their house door. And the guys can see the guy from the Ring camera and says, "Who are you? Why are you at my door?" And the man is like, "I'm looking for Ruth." Me. And he's like, and they're like, "Who's Ruth?" Because that neighbor in particular, not the one opposite of the house, but the one to the side of the house where they went to, where the stalker or the intruder went to, they barely know us because we moved in right before COVID and we hadn't introduced ourselves to them before. obviously today I met them. They're really, really nice family. I mean, they're amazing. I don't even know why we haven't even met them this whole time, because they are really awesome. But anyway, when he did that, he's like, who's Ruth? And then he said, and I'm not going to say our house number. I know he mentioned the house number, right? The house number. And that's when they knew that he was talking about us, because he mentioned the house number. And he's like, they're like, we don't know anyone in this area. So he walks and crosses the street, and that's when they see him walking towards our house. And the woman was like, oh my gosh, there's children in the house. She has children in the house. So they call the cops immediately, not knowing that this one over here had already called the cops and was recording. So he calls the cops, and the guy has, he knows how to shoot things, just so you know. He was ready to come out and whatever. So anyway, so they watch him, and literally for 15 minutes, this man is standing on the porch, just going back and forth, knocking on the door, going back and forth, trying to get in. And I'm so stressed. I didn't even hear anything. I didn't hear anything. I must have passed out. I mean, last night I went to bed late. I didn't hear anything, and maybe thank God I didn't hear anything, because I don't even know what I would have done. Would I have gone to the door? Obviously, I would have called 911. So the cops came apparently last night, and they showed him the footage. They wrote down a police report. I had to go to the precinct today, the police station, which was stressful, and I had to show them more footage. They had to write down the report. And I had to talk to the whole neighbors here to see their Ring cameras. There was a lot when the guy initially came, I was on the phone with Derek. Obviously, he's freaking out. He says he can't sleep tonight. You guys know his most important thing in the world is just, us, family, obviously, duh. And then the other thing was, when this man came to the house to tell me, because I didn't even know what was going on. Initially, when the neighbor had come to tell me this, he walked towards, he came to the porch, and my dad was here. So my dad answered the phone. So my dad, not answered the phone, but answered the door. And as my dad answered the door, the guy was like, oh my God, that's him. Apparently he came again and drove by really fast across the street again today. So this is the second time. I don't even know if it's more times. But the thing is, though, we know we're in social media. It's to be expected. People come and they show up and whatnot. And, I haven't told you this, but I've had people who would inbox me. There was this one guy in particular, a few others, but this one in particular I used to message all the time. I end up showing it to Derek. I had a block on Facebook, I had a block on YouTube, I had a block on Instagram, everywhere, because he would find me anywhere, and he would basically say I can do better than Derek, or how was your day, sweetie, or little things like that. And it always bothered me, because it's it's another thing to be like somebody, but it's another thing to be super obsessed, where you're constantly messaging the person every day and all of these things. And but I thought I had stopped. After I blocked him, I thought that was over. Obviously, I don't know if it's the same person. But that was a year ago. Is it the same person? I don't know anybody in this neighborhood. I'm thinking, I've been just racking my brain all day. I'm like, do I know anybody? And I saw the man's face, because this one, I couldn't see the man's face, but the one over here, I saw his face. I don't know him anywhere. I'm thinking, did I meet him at anywhere, at the gym? Did I meet him at church? I don't know. I don't know anybody. He's a white man. He is, I can tell you that. And, I don't know if this is weird or not, and I don't want to do anything. You think of intruders, you think they're, they're big, or they're crazy looking or whatever. He's not a bad looking guy. Honestly, that's the first thing I thought of when I saw, because I was waiting for the person to look like, you know, like crazy and weird looking face. I was like, you know, not a bad looking person. It's like, why are you not anywhere else? Why are you here? You know, it's why, you know, because you're thinking somebody is maybe skinny, or they have long ears to the top of their head, they have a chin that's falling to the stomach. Like, when I'm thinking of like somebody who's obsessed or whatever, and it's a man, or and then it's like an intruder, you think of somebody who doesn't, you know, like a, not a low life, but like you're thinking of somebody who is just not all there. And this person is not. It's totally the opposite. So it's just like, and I think it's funny because that's what not really funny, but that's why initially when the man had seen, the neighbors had seen that they were in the porch, they were like, oh, maybe he has a business with Ruth or something. I don't want to intrude, you know, I don't want to do any or say anything or do anything. And now he knows. I told him, like, I don't know anybody here. If you see anyone in the house, around the house, stalking and around the neighborhood, just know I know nobody. So if you see any man, any whatever, just call the cops. Like, I don't know anybody. So, and I'm only thinking like he probably knew Derek was out of town. You know, it's probably the best time to come. But let me tell you right now, if you're watching this and you're here watching and it's you, seriously, my parents are here. My dad, you know, don't mess with that man. The cops know. They're keeping an eye. The neighbors also know. Please don't come by. Please don't do that, because I have kids around the house. It just scares me. Don't do that, you know? So, yeah, looks are very deceiving. Looks are very deceiving. The ones that don't look crazy are the ones that look crazy. Yeah, they're the ones that are crazy. Yeah, see this man, it's like, why? Like, why even? I've been racking my brain all day, and that's why I haven't been online all day, because I've been doing so much. Like, I had to do so much today, and it's unfair, because it's like, you know. Anyway, I'm so stressed as it is already, you know, and then this happens as well. So, but anyway, my sister-in-law, she lives really close here. She came over today, and we went together, spoke to some few people. You know, she has her phone on her, and you know, I can call her whenever. And poor Derek, the one time he just goes away, he can't even get a week to himself. I told him not to, you know, I was like, just, you know, chill. But I know him. I know kind of who he is. He's probably gonna, I bet I'll wake up tomorrow and he'll be like, I'm home. So, but like I said, my mom and dad are gonna be sleeping here over the next, you know, couple of days until Derek gets home. So they're gonna be here, and they're gonna be very alert. And the neighbors all know. They all have like Ring cameras and stuff. And I'm gonna get an extra one, you know, a really good one for the side as well. So you guys can tell I'm talking because as I'm saying it, I'm thinking as well, because I'm already like I'm just thinking, why, how they know. I mean, obviously, they know. I mean, I'm guessing the only place they can know is online. But, and then the thing is, the way the reason why I think they went over there initially to that house was because we both have the same color door. So he must have thought that door was our door. And then initially when and then they're like, who's Ruth? You know? And then, so then that's when they Googled my name, and then it comes up, you know, us. And then that's how they found out that we were online, because only a few of our neighbors know that we are on social media. That one, and another one. But the rest of them, I don't think, know. So that's how they all found out. And I believe the cops that showed up also knew that we were on social media. And apparently the mayor, how is the mayor watching our videos? But anyway, so, and we didn't even know about all these people. So that's when they knew, because with this one, I had to, when he was leaving, the neighbor that took the video initially that showed me, that came to the house, when he was leaving, I was like, I will be honest with you, because usually we like to keep it like secret, not secret that we're on social media, but it's like, if you find out, you find out. If you don't, we're not out saying, oh my gosh, we're on the internet. We don't do that. Derek and I, we just like, we do our own thing. We keep it to ourselves. We're not out there being like, oh my God, look at us. So when he told me that, he was shocked that he knew my name. And when he was walking up, I was like, you know what, I will be honest with him. And I told him, I was like, you know what, I'll be honest with you. We are on social media. Derek and I, my husband and I, we are on social media. And he's like, I know. They told me about it. So the other neighbors must have told him about it, because they Googled it and then they found out. And that's how they knew, like, oh, okay. Oh my God. So it is what it is. I mean, I've never had it happen like this before, where they walk into the premises. I've seen few times, last week, if you guys were watching, we told you about the car, the black car with the tinted windows that sit in front of the house. Remember that video? We told you about that. We told you about the van that sits over there as well, the one that drives around very quietly. But before that, what you guys don't know is we do see cars that pass by, but they kind of like slow down, then they look, and then they go by. So our neighbor, who didn't know we're online, actually approached us and said, there's a bunch of cars that come and they drive by and they look in the house, they look to see whatever. And that's when we told them that, oh, that's what we do. And I was like, oh, it makes sense. It makes sense. They're trying to, they live in the area. They're trying to see the kids. Maybe they want to see, I don't know. But it's like coming to the property and coming over to the window and stuff. That's like so off limit. It's like, I don't know how to even say it. That's like so off limit, it's just, please don't do that, because that's like so scary. And I don't want to be rude or anything. It's just like, it's just scary because there's kids in the neighborhood. I don't know. I just don't know what you would want that late at night, like the glass, it was right there. A few more steps. Just a few more, guys. There's a few more steps in the video. There's a few more steps and it would be right there. And thank God a neighbor. And he's saying that, he's like, hey, thank God I was sitting outside. Thank God he was sitting outside and watching with the video at the right time. At the right time. And these guys too, they were amazing as well. They're the ones that initially called the cops. He called the cops as well. And I have the footages of them. I have the 3 footages of them as well. You can see the guy's face, like I said. I don't know. So I'm just, I'm worried, obviously, but I know that Derek is probably worried even more, and I just feel bad for him. I really do. I feel bad for him. But don't open the door in the daytime either. Yeah, so since he's left, I haven't been opening the door in the daytime. As a matter of fact, I actually close it when I'm inside the house. Have I forgotten in the past? Yes, I have. Because you have to understand, guys, we live in a very safe neighborhood. Like, this neighborhood is so quiet. There's nothing really going on here. Really, there isn't. It's not a bad neighborhood at all. So sometimes you kind of forget, and then you would leave the door open. But now I kind of know, because if he's coming over in the daytime and zooming by and driving by, that means, in the daytime too, I need to keep the doors always locked, even when I'm leaving, coming in, even when I'm in the house. So it needs to be like a priority. Your neighbor is an angel. I know it. I know that man was there at the right time. Thank God. Thank God. Guys, the video's on my phone. I can't really show anybody because I'm using the phone right now. But the video is so eerie. The video is so eerie. Like, I don't even know if you get that word. It makes your heart sink. It's like, and he had something in his hand. They said, who knows what he was in his hand. Only God knows. But then he says, Ruth, why? How? You know, I don't know anybody. I don't. So, anyway. Well, too much info because when I went to the cops, they did say if you are on social media, it's always very important to give a disclaimer. Not a disclaimer, but a warning. Like, everybody knows, the cops know, please don't come by. It's very important. That's why I'm doing this video. Nothing else. There's nothing else. I've been actually not been on live all day because of the same reason, but my sister-in-law said the same thing as well. Said make sure you just give that warning, put it out there that we know, everybody knows, the cop know, just in case if they're watching, they know not to come by again. So you might think it's too much info, but I just want to do that because there's no other way this person would have known me outside of social media, because I don't talk to any man. The only man that I talk to that I'm married to is my husband. I'm married to him. He's my best friend. He's the only one that I talk to. He's the only man that I go out with anywhere. He's the only man that I've ever communicated with since I've been married. He's the only man that I know outside of my marriage. He's the only man that I know in and outside of my marriage. I don't know anybody. So if I don't know where else it would be, the person would be coming from, if not from social media. That's why they told me make this disclaimer and put it out there and know, like, if you see me out and about, you can just come say hi. I mean, I was at Starbucks 2 days ago and I met 3 of you guys at Starbucks right here in the corner. You guys came and said hi. You were waving in the window. I said hi. It was nice. I'm at Marshall's. I see you guys all the time at Marshall's. We see a lot of you guys around, believe it or not. We don't talk about it because there's no need to, but I see all the time. I saw one down the road. So it's obvious that a lot of you guys are around here. It's fine. Come say hi. Don't be worried that I'm so friendly when you meet me out. Come say hi. Come get a hug. Whatever you need. But I think it's just a whole house thing. Not coming to the house because that's like our sacred place. It's so close and we have the kids here and things, and I just don't want to be scared of living in my own house, So that's the only thing. So that's that. Just so you know, everybody knows, and the neighbors know, the cops know, and please, don't come over to the house. No such thing as good neighbors. Our neighbors are actually really good. Our neighbors are good. I know sometimes things have happened in the world where you don't trust people anymore, and it's really sad actually. But I believe there are some good people in the world left. Really, there is. So I believe that, not everyone believes that. Like, they're like, oh, everyone is corrupt, everyone is bad. But I actually believe there is still some good people in the world. And our neighbor who called the cops and saw the guy walking towards the windows, he's an angel. He did good. He's a good neighbor. He even walked out of this house in front of this porch. He walked towards the road where we live to make sure the guy was in his car, and had left the premises, So he's a good person. So there is good people around the neighborhood, in your neighborhood. So, but that's that. That's why I haven't been online all day. So just so everything is, I'm good. The girls are good. Everything is good. It's been a back and forth everywhere. And yeah, it was my first time today going to a police station. I was like, it was so intimidating, honestly. And I even told the cops, I'm like, I don't know what to do. It's my first time ever stepping into anything that has to do with police. Please, I don't know what to do. And then they helped me and everything. They were very gracious, actually. Really, really kind. And they said, call anytime. Call anytime. We're here to protect the neighborhood, to protect people. Anything you want, just call. Because I felt bad. I was like, I don't want to just call and see someone is looming around when there's people who are going through real things in the world who need the police to be there immediately. Like, I know I don't, and he was like, no, call us anytime. You're also as important as the people that are going through like something really huge as well. Don't feel bad calling because somebody's looking in the neighborhood or in your property. It's just as important as the other stuff. So it's just me. I always try to be too polite. That's a problem. But yeah, we're all right. So so far so good. Everything is good. I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there, put it out in the world if you're watching, whatnot. And then it's out there. So yeah, I'm gonna get going because I want to go put the girls to sleep. I have to bathe them, so I'm gonna go give them a nice bath. I'm hungry. I need to eat something because I haven't really eaten all day. So it's been stressful today, actually. So I'm going to eat something and just put my feet up a little bit because I think my legs are swollen for the first time in my life. So I'm going to try and put my feet up and yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, thank you everyone for watching. Oh, thank you, Winsale says, Ruth, I'm praying for you and your family's safety. Please take all precautions so water's not a safe place anymore. Thank you so much. Thank you. Tammy says, I'm sorry this happened, Ruth. It's maybe a good idea to... Oh, I feel dizzy. Give me a minute. Okay, guys, I'm going to get going. All right. I feel a bit dizzy. I'm sorry. I got to go and drink some water, do something. I don't feel good. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good rest of your day, and thank you so much. Love you, everybody. Bye.